Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, welcome back to the show. Okay, so before our commercial break, we talked to this orange-haired teen right here, and now we are going to reveal the DNA evidence and see who is the biological father of this young man right here. Now, I should just admit that I do not know what's going to happen, but it's probably going to involve a lot of drama and people getting the shit beat out of them on national television, but that's entertainment now, right? So here we go. We have 4 potential candidates right here on who is the actual father, and now the results shall be known to the world. The true father of Ichigo Kurosaki is... Kiyosoma from Fruits Basket. Oh. You know what? It makes about as much sense as anything else that's going on right now. Hey everybody, Tekking101 here, here to review Bleach chapter number 675, titled Blood for My Bone. The chapter starts off on Uryu and Hashwolf's side. We get to see what's going on there. So last chapter they had Uryu beaten into the ground, kind of that pool of blood, and then Hashwolf kept on monologuing about what his true intentions are and everything, and then that side ended by Uryu summoning. I couldn't tell if it was like a new bow or if it was like a new technique altogether, but here we very clearly see it's a double-limbed bow. It has 4 limbs jutting off from each side, and yeah, interesting little concept there. I'm kind of curious why he didn't use this earlier, because it's like, okay, Uryu fights against Hashwolf while Hashwolf has the power of the Almighty, and he gets beaten up a little bit. I mean, he's bloodied, but he's still able to stand. And then Hashwolf goes into his true power with the balance after Yuha wakes up, and then I guess his power is more suited to combat, so then he just beats Uryu into a fucking puddle of blood on the floor. And then Uryu's like, "It's cool, I got this." Maybe this new bow is something related to his script as the A, which we still have no idea what it is. A lot of people, though, by the way, have been saying that the A might stand for the archer or the archery. And I'm just sitting there being like, I mean, it wouldn't be wrong, but pretty much every Quincy is basically an archer in some degree. Like, they specialize in projectile weapons. Even the Quincy's, like Quillhay, that still use swords, they have some manner of projectile weapon that they're still best at. That was the whole point why the Quincy's were even created. Kubo, when he was designing Uryu, he was basically like, I wanted an opponent that would use projectile weapons because that would be someone that would be a good rival against Ichigo that uses a sword, and that's where the whole Quincy idea came from, why they use bows and arrows and projectiles. So, while he could be the archer, it's like every Quincy's technically an archer, so that wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Unless he was talking about Archer the animated series, which would make a lot of sense as well. Anyway, yeah, he charges up this new bow and he aims it directly at Hashwolf's face. So, okay, Uryu, it's time for you to shine. You've been beaten down by this blonde-haired beanpole for far too long. Draw that new bow of yours taut, aim it directly square in his eyes, and... may I ask you some questions? Oh no, you fucking don't! Don't you, Uryu! Just fire it! Just fire it! Just one flick of the finger, just fling! You already did the hard part. You already drew it taut, just fucking let go! That's all you have to do! That's all you have to fucking do! You know, it'd be fucking hilarious if Hashwolf is standing there, he's looking all cool and collected, but really he's like freaking out. Like, holy crap, the Ryatsu coming off that bow is something I didn't expect. I better figure out some way to dodge it or else I might be in trouble. Now I would like to ask you some questions. Oh shit, we're doing this? Okay, fine, yeah, ask away, Uryu, let's play 20 questions, that's a fun game. Anybody remember that? So Uryu is curious why Hashwolf was going on that spiel last chapter about how, I can't understand what kind of being you are because, we're all weighed on scales and that kind of shit, and Uryu's like, why the hell do you even care what kind of human I am? That seems like kind of abstract and at this point seems kind of redundant because I'm here to delay you to allow Ichigo to get to Yuha, which, by the way, their whole plan has just crumbled because the whole reason Uryu said for Ichigo to go fight Yuha is like, wait a second, Hashwolf has the powers on omnipotence, so right now Yuha is vulnerable. Ichigo, go kill him. But now, you know, Hashwolf's the power's gone away now, and Hashwolf's even stated this, so the whole plan pretty much has just crumbled at the freaking edges. But Uryu's just like, I don't understand why you care. And then Hashwolf's like, oh god, I feel like a freaking broken record here. I've already seen the result. Your allies will perish, blah blah blah. I can see the future! That's all what it all boils down to at the end of the day. Uryu's rebuttal to that is, wait a second, we can change our future, can't we? Anyone ever watch Terminator 2? I feel like going watching Terminator 2. Well, you are correct that you were able to change the course of events that I saw. However, when I was using the Almighty, I was merely borrowing it from Yuha. What makes the Almighty truly terrifying is not merely its ability to see the future. Oh, so maybe the power of the Almighty makes the user really powerful. I didn't see that one fucking coming! Or maybe it transforms them into All Might from My Hero Academia. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. By the way, did you see that last My Hero Academia chapter? Holy shit! I mean, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but if you're not reading that, you need to get on that shit now. We're only like 80-something chapters in. You could get caught up in like 2 days, so get on that right now. Like, seriously, like, you could pause this video. Not really much anything happens in the rest of this chapter. You can at least skip to the end. I don't even care anymore. In fact, I'll put up a time code right here when we skip to the end of the chapter when something cool happens. So, click on that, go watch, like, the last minute of the review, and then get your ass reading My Hero Academia, like, right now. Alright, so Hashwolf brings up his sword, and he gets ready to, I don't know, I guess activate his balance power because he's talking about scales, so I'm assuming that whatever Uryu was going to do, even if it would have been able to, you know, hurt him, you know, Hashwolf can just use his OP like, oh, well, the balance is now tipped in my favor, so I can destroy you. But that's the last scene we see with them. We get the title page, Blood for My Bone, as Ichigo once again is getting knocked back by the shadow for like the fifth time, I think, maybe sixth, I don't know, I lost count. Anyway, he gets knocked back again, however, this time Orihime grabs him. Wait, Kurosaki-kun! Yep, I'm just gonna keep that rolling along. Please, just calm down for a second.
Oh my god, Ichigo's staring at me. His eyes are so powerful they stare directly into my soul. Ichigo, please stay with me. I'll heal you, and we'll run off together, and we'll live together in peace and
Nope!
Get your sexy ass back here right now.
I simply can't understand why you're in such a rush to die. You know, Yuha, I don't either, but at that point, I'm just like, whatever. Ichigo's been charging at you aimlessly for like the past 3 chapters with really no plan. I mean, he's never been the most tactical guy in the army, but it's like, Ichigo, if it didn't work the first 2 times, why the fuck would it work the next 4? Yuha monologues some more, to which he then gets knocked back, and then Soten Kishun appears behind him, where Orihime is attempting to heal him. So the Soten Kishun, I think it appears like above him, not like around him, like enclosing him, but maybe Orihime's better, you know, enhanced power now. She can use Soten Kishun as long as it's like in the perimeter of the area, like it's above Ichigo, but its healing properties are still managing to repair him. So honestly, I think Yuha here might be actually trying to motivate Ichigo a little bit, to give him a little bit more of a fight, because he's like, tell me, Ichigo, as the voice for the powerlessness, you know, for the weak, for those that shouldn't be able to breathe without you, stand tall and fight, and breathe your final breath. So I don't know if Yuha at this point is just trying to like, come on, Ichigo, make it a little bit interesting. I mean, I know I'm going to win. I'm fucking Yuha, but at least make it a little bit more challenging. You know, a lot of people also, because I skipped a lot of the monologuing last chapter, people have been saying like, well, you know, the whole point of that was Yuha basically wants to consume Ichigo and like eat him and take his powers. Why isn't that important? And I was like, well, we went into this fight thinking that Yuha wanted to kill Ichigo, or, you know, something to that effect, and then we found out that he still wants him dead, he just wants to eat him. I'm like, alright, whatever. I mean, yeah, Yuha wants to eat Ichigo and consume his power. I mean, look at all the powers Yuha has already. Like, look at them. Seriously, like, okay, he eats Ichigo and gets more power. At this point, it's massive overkill. You don't need that much power. I mean, really. So yeah, he wants to kill Ichigo, he just wants to eat him. Whatever, okay, that still didn't require, like, 3 or 4 pages of fucking monologuing bullshit. Anyway, so Ichigo, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother saying it. I've said it so many times in the last video, in the review before that. Like, what's the freaking point? I'll just, you know what, ad-lib. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks for me. Ichigo gets blanked back by the blank that Yuha is controlling. God damn, you guys are sick perverts. I mean, I mean, I thought I would... Jesus. Wow. Alright, so he kisses the ground once more, although he does land a little bit more composed this time. I gotta give him that much. He notices over and he sees that one of his swords, the long sword one right here, is beginning to glow white at the tip. And then Ichigo's like, oh shit, okay, timer's done. No way, back up, it's time to kick some ass. So, oh my god, Ichigo, is this a plan? Did charging in randomly and attacking and getting the shit beat out of you repeatedly by shadows actually amount to something? Yes, it did! Orihime puts up a giant Suntan Keshun barrier that manages to prevent the shadows from hitting him once more. Her powers are on the level where she can at least hold back the shadows for at least a little bit. I never said she wasn't going to be integral in this battle, I just don't like her character development up till this point. Also, by the way, in case you're curious about how Tekking rates his blinding rage or unbearable love for his Bleach characters, please refer to this diagram we have right here. So, of course, Soifone is at the bottom at number 13, and she's the one I hate the most. But if we move up forward here, we have 8, which is Orihime, which I don't hate too much, but, you know, I'm not really fond of here. And then we have 7, which is kind of like a neutral zone. That's why Momo is there. She's the character I don't really like, don't really hate. She's just wonderfully average. So she's kind of like the buffer. And then from 6 to 1, it's like 6, I enjoy the character, but almost, not too much. And then 1, of course, is my favorite character. So if you attain Rukia level, you've earned my heart. So we can all aspire to get to the top of the pyramid there. Alright, anyway, Ichigo begins to state that, yes, actually, this is his plan all along. I'm not sure if he discussed this with Orihime beforehand, like, hey, when this shit goes down, get ready to activate a giant barrier. But from what Orihime is going to say, I don't think she really notices that I don't think she realized what Ichigo was asking her to do here in its entirety. Ichigo thanks her. And remembers that when Ichigo looked at her when she grabbed him at the beginning of this chapter, that was there was something in his eyes. There was an expression that he had. It wasn't like an expression of like, oh shit, I'm in trouble here. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It was an expression of somewhat confidence, like this was all part of his plan to begin with. So yeah, the ending of the chapter here. Oh, by the way, if you clicked on the annotation, thanks for skipping my entire review. Go back and watch it. I was kidding, dipshit. Anyway, so Ichigo's Zanpakuto begins to glow white, and the pattern of blue vein begins to appear on it. So something Quincy related is going down. I needed to buy some time to unleash this Quincy Ryatsu. Oh my god, you mean Ichigo's actually using his Quincy powers? Wow! You know what would have been awesome? If somebody did a video talking about Ichigo's Quincy powers like a week ago. That would have been perfect timing there. Information card. Maybe it's over here, I don't know. But click on the card. Yeah. Because there's someone I needed to jolt awake. So Orihime notices that the katana is turning white, which is very odd, resulting in a big-ass explosion behind the Suntan Keshun barrier. Oh, you know what this means. Cue that epic music. We got a badass Ichigo transformation on our hands here now. This is moments I live for, guys. Ah, I see. So this is what your endgame was, Ichigo Kurosaki. It's beautiful! It's beautiful! So, Ichigo turned into a Pokemon? Alright, I know, everybody just collectively shit their pants, so I'll give you some time to go to the bathroom and, go to the bidet and clean off your asshole, so take a little bit, it's cool. I still gotta go through the, new form checklist to make sure Kubo hit all the important parts here, so let's get on this. Okay, we got big-ass explosions, we got eye changing color, we got body markings, and Super Saiyan hair. I think that is a checkaroo. Alright, so Ichigo's new form began when his sword began to glow white, and the pattern was very clearly blue vein. Okay, so that's clearly Quincy powers going on there, and he said I needed to use this Quincy Ryatsu to jolt someone awake. Keep in mind for that a little bit, because that's a little bit confusing on what happens next. Big explosion, and then we have Ichigo's new appearance here. Half of his body is now covered in black markings. He has the horn coming out of his head, which is indicative of his Vasto Lorde form that he had when he fought against Ukiura, and also the form that his hollow self took when he fought again when he was learning the final Getsuga Tensho. He also had the horns. But essentially, to take away from this, Ichigo is, of course, harnessing his powers as one being. He's harnessing his Quincy powers as one half of them, and his Shinigami and Hollow powers as the other half. Remember, Ichigo's Shinigami and Hollow powers are not separate things. They are permanently bonded together. Okay, so if you want to think of it like 25% Shinigami, 25% Hollow, 50% Quincy, that's fine, but I just consider them like a whole new hybrid thing. So 50-50, there you go. Something interesting, though, is that he said, you know, I need to jolt someone awake. So what did he mean by that? He was talking about Quincy Ryatsu, so at first you might think he's jolting awake Zangetsu, the cloaked guy inside of his soul. But then you start to think, wait a second, he also has not used his Hollow powers in a long time. I mean, a long time. Because keep in mind, Ichigo, he hasn't really had any real fights up to this point. I mean, he had that little scuffle where he was like slapping around the Stern Ritter clique, but that didn't really amount to anything. We got to see Getsuga Jujisho, which was cool, but beyond that, I mean, he fought against Askin briefly, but he just dropped him. So, he doesn't have really a lot of opportunities since he learned about his Quincy heritage to access his full power. But it makes sense that this was the appearance it would take, because remember back when he was training for Final Getsuga, the appearance of his powers melded as one. We had half Quincy and then Shinigami and Hollow as the other half. And then that's the appearance it took, which is what he looks like right now. Except his hair has gone Super Saiyan, so that's pretty badass as well. A lot of great fan art came from this. So, Ichigo was planning on this. I guess what he was thinking, I don't know if it was like I just needed to buy time, and that's why I needed to just keep running at Yuha, but that doesn't make any sense. If he was wanting to buy time, then attacking your opponent and just swinging your sword and getting the shit beat out of you constantly, not a good plan there. So I was thinking maybe it was attacking Yuha is what truly awakened his Quincy powers. You know, it's kind of the same thing that happened when he was in Kurhei's jail. You know, the Quincy power began to resonate back and forth. Maybe Ichigo's like, I need to jolt this Quincy power awaken me by attacking Yuha, who's the king of all Quincy's, and that'll eventually wake that up, and then that'll wake the Hollow up, and then I can merge them together, because unless maybe both halves are fully realized, they won't be able to merge in this way. Don't know if this form is going to be temporary, because maybe it's going to be unstable in some way, like I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay in this form. But let me just say right now, I mean, even if this form is temporary and he can only maintain it for a little bit, you know, I expect some epicness next chapter, alright? I don't want to just see some, okay, new form, Getsuga Tensho. Fuck that shit. I expect to see a fucking goddamn Sero light show going on. I expect to see Ichigo using, like, I don't know, Quincy projectile arrows and blue vein and blue artery and Getsuga Tenshos the size of skyscrapers mixed together black and white. I mean, that's the kind of thing I expect to see from this form, because that's the kind of hype I'm feeling right now. If you mess this up, I will do, okay, absolutely nothing, but it'd be a real dick move, so just remember that, Kubo. Alright? I'm Batman, motherfucker. Alright, so, new form. I'm excited. I'm excited. New word. I'm excited. And we'll see what happens in the next chapter, because other than the, you know, Hollow and Quincy powers that he's displayed so far, I don't know where this is going. As with the Uryu and Hashwald fight, oh yeah, Isshin and Ryukin didn't appear this week. You know what? I'm not even mad. It's cool. We got to see what they were doing last chapter. At least Kubo acknowledged they're still here and they're in the fight. They'll show up at some point. But yeah, Uryu's looking probably going to be pretty beaten up here, so Ryukin's probably going to happen there. And I don't know what's going to happen with Isshin, you know, because if Isshin shows up, I would say, you know, Ichigo needs help, but that would imply that even in this new form, Ichigo gets the shit kicked out of him, which, let's be honest here, he still very well might, but, you know, I don't like to think that, because it looks so cool. Although, I wonder how Ichigo feels about that horn now. It'd be like, oh shit, I have a horn. Okay, this is gonna be complicated to sleep with, you know, so, like, just walking around with this big horn. It's in front of his eye, too, so he'd be walking around with this constant, like, thing obscuring your vision. Like, that'd be just annoying, so I hope it's not temporary for Ichigo's sake, you know. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the review, everybody. This will be Tekking101, signing out. Sarah Light Show. I mean it.